New York Islanders' six-game winning streak is over. They had the game tied in the third period. They give up 2 goals late in the third. You look at missed opportunities in this game, and Butch, you have to talk about the power play and how ineffective they were tonight.
They really, could have used the power play goal. I mean, and they have to play a 60-minute game, Brendan. They had spurts, but overall, when you look at that power play, it's supposed to give you momentum, and it really didn't. They didn't really create a whole lot on their power play opportunities. In fact, it was the Hurricanes that got the better opportunities, and they took all the momentum away. As soon as they killed that power play, the Islander power play, they got better. So, I mean, that at the end of the day, when you evaluate your team, you say, hey, in these moments, we need to be a little bit better than that, create momentum, at least if we don't score.
Islanders played a decent first period, maybe out of the 3 periods, maybe their best period of the hockey game. Couple unlucky bounces, though, and they went up down 2-1. But Brock Nelson, best player on the ice for the New York Islanders, he got the scoring started.
Yeah, he was the one guy that had energy the entire night. And when I talked about the lack of, for me, concentration and focus. But Brock, right from the opening get-go, was real good. He just comes off the bench, and we saw this shot later on in the game too, as he goes 5-hole. So he gives the Islanders a type of start that they wanted. A good quick wrist shot going 5-hole. Turnover by Falk, and then really the horseshoe game came out for the Hurricanes. But good hard work. Take nothing away from him as Manalainen drives towards the net. Yes, Nick Leddy, trying to prevent a goal, knocks it into his own net past Thomas Greiss, and maybe that was a sign of things to come for the Islanders. And then McKagan's going to end up scoring a goal. Another simple play, dump it in, go hard to the net, throw it to the net. I talked about doing more of that for the Islanders in the third period, and that one goes in off of Pelech. So the Hurricanes worked hard, got rewarded for their hard work with a couple of lucky goals.
And so that one was with 6 seconds to go in that first period as well. Made it 2-1. You see the night for Brock Nelson, who had goals number 14 and 15 on the season. Picked up an assist as well. And that line, Butch, we talked about it tonight. Brock Nelson, Anders Lee, and Jordan Eberle, amidst all of this, finished all +3 in the hockey game.
Well, they were skating, and I like the way their focus, but their support was really good all over the ice. I mean, they came up with the blue line, they had good speed, and if they had to chip and chase, they did that. If the Hurricanes backed off, then they made the decision to carry it in, and they started getting open for one another. So they were always in constant motion, always thinking about getting in position, allowing themselves the opportunity to score, and that's probably one of the big reasons why they were able to have such a strong game. So they were on their game. They didn't get a lot of help from their teammates tonight.
Islanders scored a pretty goal in the second period to tie the game up at 2, Jordan Eberle, but it wound up being offsides. Valtteri Filppula's skate was off, and so the Islanders' 2-2 score went back to 2-1. It stayed that way into the third period, and Devon Toews seems to have a sense for the moment, got things tied up early on in that third.
And it was, again, with the Islanders finally, looked like they were playing with a little sense of urgency, some pressures, and some, okay, let's get ourselves going, and Anders Lee protects the puck. And what I liked about this shot from Toews is he wasn't in perfect position. He didn't have a chance to really tee it up. He just snapped it quickly. And we're talking about, that line, get themselves involved. And it was a good screen by Brock Nelson. And then the Islanders here, they go to sleep a little bit. I mean, Thomas Greiss has got the puck, rolls it around. Look at Toews, where Toews going. Toews needed to stop in front of the net. He kind of drifted a little bit. They lost the battle along the boards, and that really was a story for them in most instances. You can see Ryan Pulock got to be stronger along the boards than that, and Toews sort of stopped in front of the net. I think he was going back, anticipating that puck was going back to the corner. And this really, here's a power play goal for the Hurricanes. They win the draw, something the Islanders couldn't do for the most times on the power play. Barzal taking a bit of a chance, lost his edge, and then Slavin makes a real good move, faking on Ryan Pulock and then getting into the middle of the ice. Watch the fake, gets Ryan Pulock out of the way, and that's all he needed, and a great shot. And that was the story. The Islanders made it close, but you know what? You and I talked about it. They didn't play well enough to win the game. The Hurricanes knew it was almost a must-win for them, and they came out and played that way.
They cut the Islanders' lead to 5 points in the standings. You see Williams getting what was the go-ahead goal with just 2 minutes and 42 seconds on the clock. After the Slavin goal at 18:53, the Islanders got one from Brock Nelson 8 seconds later, got it within 1, but that's as close as they got. It's a game, Butch, that you talked about. They didn't play well enough to win this hockey game, and they're starting to learn, even though the hard way. You can't just turn it on at the end and expect to win.
Well, I think that'll be an interesting practice or an interesting meeting for Coach Trotz, because he one of the things he said to me is, I want to see how our team plays after the game we played in St. Louis, where we know we stole 2 points, we didn't deserve them. He would have liked to have seen a real bounce-back game like we saw in Colorado, for example, or Dallas. He wanted to see that type of game. He didn't even get close to that kind of game. So I'd like to be a fly on the wall and just to hear what he has to say. Now they have a big home-and-home series with the Rangers. That always brings out a lot of emotion. Perhaps that will turn the tide for the Islanders at this point in time.